Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of From the Root to the Fruit. I'm your host, Jay Smith. Today's guest is a really cool human, but the fact of the matter is, like, we've been friends for a long time, but we don't really traditionally have these conversations. He's a devoted father, absolute outstanding husband, really good dude, and also a blue belt in jujitsu, which is I'm I'm a wrestler. Fought for about 10 minutes, so I'm really looking forward to sitting down and talking to him a little bit and kind of picking his brain and seeing what's really going on in life. My next guest, with no further ado, Duane Rudder. Duane Rudder, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I know you got football to watch. Those sorry ass Patriots. Whatever. I ain't gonna say
Actually,
nothing.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Uh, we're gonna stop. I'm actually looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now because my boy Brady done jumped ship. So I'm watching him. But you know what? I still love the Patriots, man. I still pull for him. I'm happy for Cam that what he's doing. I ain't gonna jump ship like that, man. But I still got to keep my eyes on Brady and see what he doing.
Okay,
It
that's
is.
fair. That's fair. I mean, he got the pantry stocked out there now. I mean,
Yeah.
they ain't no y'all need a corner though.
Yeah.
Old boy playing left corner is dumpster juice. He is not
Yeah.
good at all. And don't get me
Nah.
wrong, I don't have no more downs in this body, but I'm telling you,
That,
he rough around the edges, that one.
talking about Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, no. Your man down in Tampa that
Oh yeah, he gone. It's like all his Kool-Aid juice is empty. Like he he messing with that Crystal Light now. Like, dude, come on. Like you can't even stop a blink.
no,
Like,
no, it's rough, bro. It's rough.
man, there's like all his confidence gone. I was like, man, y'all need to bench him.
At
Gee.
least, at least. Tell me what it was like. Most people don't know this, and we just had this a brief part of that conversation. Like I thought you got your family was Jamaican, and it turns out you're Trinidadian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tell
So
me a little bit about that.
oh man, dude, when I tell people that they're like, "Are you for real?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said every person in basically in my family, like my brothers, everyone was born in Trinidad in the West Indies. Not
Okay.
me. I was born in New York. So just being able to understand what that culture is like, what that background is like I was born in New York, but I was raised in Trinidad. So my
Okay.
mom worked in Manhattan. My dad worked in Con Edison at the power plant. And basically, my mom's sister raised me in Trinidad. So it was basically growing up like an islander.
Okay.
Started school down there. Ran around with my uncle in the summer because he used to do door to door sales with paint,
Okay.
basically like a Sherman Williams equivalent of what we have here in the United States. I'd run around with him and just I adapted that lifestyle like at such a young age, and I was ready to go when I went back to New York. It was like, wow, like I'm glad I got to experience it. And I
That's good.
learned so much about my family, like what my family went through, them growing up, because everybody thinks like, oh man, you your mom you live in New York, your mom works at this great corporation, your dad is a blue collar worker, yeah, it's great, but I appreciate it because what they grew up as was almost
Right.
basically you can say poor. They weren't like they were struggling, but it wasn't no you're gonna have these clothes when you want, you're gonna have these shoes when you want. Like they had
Right.
to actually get hand me downs. My dad told me stories of, hey, I didn't get brand new stuff. Like I got stuff from my brothers and sisters where shit, if I wanted new PJs, I got my sister's old nightgown. I was happy, you know? So it's like all that I experienced and I learned through my aunts, my uncles, and what they grew up having to deal with. And what my dad instilled in me and my mom instilled in me was, you do good, you could be rewarded, but we don't want to see you have to suffer like how we had to suffer, not because we wanted to suffer, but our mom and dad couldn't really afford that lifestyle. So growing
Right.
up in Trinidad, man, really gave me the spectrums of seeing it on both sides, you know?
That's
So,
dope.
yeah.
That's- I know there's like talk about the food, because I see you posting on Instagram or whatever, like when you go see your pops or
Oh,
whatnot,
man.
like you guys get down.
Dude, yes. So it is all Caribbean street food we get. So it's
Okay.
curry, roti, doubles, and all that is pretty much it's like flour based.
Okay.
Like a roll, or like a, how would I say, a, not a tortilla, but a soft taco, you can say.
Okay.
But it has chickpeas, curry, like it's everything that I grew up with. So when I go to New York, it's basically like in the South. You come to Fuquay, you're gonna see Bojangles, Cookout,
Right.
everything all in one corner.
Yep.
In New York, when I get to New York, I'm like, man, I don't even want that. Like, let me go to a hole in the wall Caribbean restaurant and let me just get pulori, roti, like get me back to my roots. And my wife now, when she goes, she's like, she tells my dad, hey, can you FedEx next day air us like 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll do it. I love it, man. It's just the fusion of food in New York. Like, it's not like when you come to the South, like if you have barbecue.
Right.
Um, to me, if I go to New York, like I can live off just eating Caribbean food from what I grew up with. So it's amazing, dude. I wish they have some restaurants down here, and some of the Indian stores or restaurants we go to, they have some of the stuff, but it's a different flavor. But
Okay.
I love it, man. I love it. And my dad is the first one. He'll call me. He's, guess what I'm having today? I'm like, don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
And that's what one of the things that, and honestly, it's really dope to be an outsider looking in and seeing kind of your, even when you talk about your dad and your family,
Mhm.
like you can, it's palpable. You can see that you light up, like
Yeah.
it's like that. Tell me a little bit about like your relationship with your parents, and
Oh, man.
kind of what that's become for you.
It's it's been it's like a blessing because growing up, like my dad was hard on me, like very, very hard on me. Like, and I was like, man, why is he so mean? Like, you do
I,
something,
I,
he'll,
I get that around here too.
he'll ask me something, and I'll forget. And then he'll ask me, like, didn't you know to do this? I'm like, man, I don't know. He go, man, what's wrong with your brain, man? Like, turn it on. And it was from a young age, like my dad was, I want you to be independent. I don't want you to be dependent on no female. I don't want you to be dependent on your friends. He goes, at the end of the day, if everybody fails you, who do you have to rely on? He
Right.
goes, you try to rely on anybody, you're going to fall flat on your back or fall flat on your face. He goes, so you need to be dependent. Cook, clean, make sure you have all your check boxes checked off. So if anything was to go south, you have yourself to fall back on. He goes, and I'll always be here for the time being. Like if you need anything, I'll give it to you without asking. He goes, but my thing is I want to see you groom yourself to handle yourself. And my
Right.
mom, on the other hand, she was more of like a nurturer. Like it was like she always had to have like her hands out, like make sure I don't fall. If something upset me, she wanted to take on that burden. Like she always tried to protect me from like the outside world.
Right.
And at first, I understood it as a kid, but then growing up, I started seeing it did affect me like badly because I didn't feel like I had a voice with her. So it
Okay.
was like, man, I want to say something to her, but then I feel like I'm being disrespectful and I'm not standing up for myself. So growing up, it was kind of hard to gauge that boundary of, well, can I stand up for myself with her? And that actually started taking a toll with me and friends. Like I'll let friends walk all over me, blah, 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 blah. And then listening to my dad on my one ear, it's like, so what do I do? And it really came to fruition like probably like after high school, like where I started understanding like, damn, I could, if anything was to happen, like, I really don't need anybody to say, I got you. Like, I just need myself. Like, I can cook, clean. I have a pretty much a good education. I said, so I can take care of myself. And if I ever do have a family, like this is what I want to provide for my family. And going down this road of marriage, kids, like communication with your wife and this, and that, it's like now all the teachings from my dad and my mom goes directly through into my teaching for my kids. Like I'm hard on my son. Um, I'm kind of hard on my daughter. My
Oh,
daughter,
don't lie. Yeah, don't lie. I got a little girl too, man. Don't quit lying.
I
Quit
try,
lying. I
I
got I
try.
give my boys hell, but yeah, that yeah. I try
I'll
now.
yell
I
at her.
try, but
Yeah,
it's
I'll yell
tough.
at her, and it's like, man, I'm sorry. Like deep down, it's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm like, come here, just give me a hug. Like, it. But with my son, dude, I am hard on him. Like, dude, do this, do that, blah, blah. No, what's wrong with you? But I always remind him, like, something my dad, I've never heard it from my dad enough. Like, I'm proud of you until
Right.
he seen me like play basketball. Um, I heard him say the first time I actually heard him say he was like worried for me was when he watched me compete my first jiu-jitsu event.
Right.
And I placed third in my weight and fourth in the open weight division. And it was after my match. This guy seen me, I gave him my medal and I kind of like rubbed him on his knee and like his eyes were red. And I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, I can't. He's like, I really can't take it. Like I'm very, very proud of what you're doing. He goes, but I've never felt so helpless just watching you. It's just you and another guy go. He's like, you playing basketball is a different story. He goes, but watching you having to man up and figure out how to get out this hole, go to this next avenue, all with your own, with no coaching. It's like I felt helpless. Like I wanted to just run out there and help you, but I couldn't. And at that moment, like that was his way of saying, like, I've always been proud of you and
Right.
just keep giving your best. And that's what I do with Cameron, man. Like, if Cameron doesn't play sports the rest of his life, like this kid is a straight A student. And I told him, I was like, that's all I care about. Like, I'm so proud of what you're doing. You push yourself even harder in your academics. And I didn't really do that. I was more like, I can get A's and B's, but I'm like, man, I ain't trying to study. You know, I'm trying to go outside. Him, it's like he's developing study habits for a sixth grader, but he just hasn't. And it's like I always tell him, like, and he'll repeat back to you, like, what does your dad say to you most often? He goes, that I'm proud of him, that my dad's always proud of me no matter what. And I'm like, that's something my dad driven in me. Like, you have to believe in yourself. And I told Cameron, I said, that's where it comes from. Like, I know I'm hard on you. I know it may sound like I yell at you every minute of the day. I said, but it's for a reason. I was like, I see something in you. You're my son. And I was like, you're blossoming to like a great young man. I said, and all the teachings I get from my mom and my dad, I'm trying to pass it on to y'all. So every time I talk about my parents, it's just like it opens up a floodgates. They mean a lot to me. They mean a lot. So without them, I won't be the man that I am today. So it took both of them to raise me to be who I am today. So
And is that balance, right? Do you has that catapulted you into to your point, you sports and everything like that, and kind of generalize the man that you are today, and how you relationship, like you dote. You dote on your wife. Like I do the same. Like that's your person, that's your queen. Like kind of is what are some of the parallels that you've taken from your parents and kind of made them your own in your own way in your own marriage?
well, I never really seen my dad display like affection to my mom growing up.
Okay.
Like neither one of them. Like I've never really seen them like, oh, look at us, we're happy. That's my
Right.
husband.
Right.
I'm like, I never seen it. Maybe they said it when they were in the room together when I wasn't there, but I never seen it. I never really seen them hold hands. Like, never really seen them be affectionate. So I knew they loved each other. I knew they loved family, and what family means to them and what it means to us. But it's just the respect thing. Like my dad, like I've never seen my dad like raise a hand towards my mom. My mom will get mad and throw shit at him, but he like was just calm, cool, and collect. And that's something that I always had. Like I don't let people get under my skin easily, and which could be a blessing and it could be a curse because all it takes is one little jab with everything festered up, and it's just like, and that's how my
Yes.
dad is.
Hey, that's me. Yeah,
That's
that's
how my
yeah.
dad is, man. My dad's ruthless, dude. Like if you seen pictures of him, everybody's like, man, your dad looks so calm. I was like, yeah, but there's a bad side to him. I was like, and I've seen that bad side, and ultimately, I don't want to get to that bad side. Like I need to learn to let things out, breathe, talk about my problems, and shoot, that's helped me with my wife. Like we went through a spat where it was we never really communication was the biggest downfall in our marriage. Like what we had. Like back when we were married for probably about 3 years, and she would just start saying things like if all the guys were together, y'all better not do this, and she would just call me out like, yo, damn, really in front of everybody, and it just started festering. So I took all that and just bottled it up, and one day it exploded. Like friends got involved, family got involved, and I'm not saying I wanted a divorce, but she came up to me and she was like, I'm not happy, and I'm like, neither am I, and we had to figure out like what is going on, like communication,
Right.
and I think that's something I had to learn myself because I never seen it from my dad and my mom. It was always one sided. Like my dad wanted to do something, but my mom didn't. My mom wanted to do something, but my dad didn't. And it was always it
Right.
was never a median. And that's one of the things why he never came down to North Carolina was because they couldn't agree on stuff like that. He goes, if we can't agree on things for our house, like and me moving, uprooting from New York to come down here, he goes, then I'm not gonna be happy because I'm compromising. So from that going forward, like I told my wife, like we have got to talk. Like if something's bothering you, let me know. I said if something's bothering me, I will let you know, but it can't be a blow up because ultimately when you blow up and you yell at me, I'm gonna turn the TV on, not because I'm being a jerk, but the way you're coming at me, I shut down. And when you
Right.
cuss, and you have no rationalization for what you're yelling about, like I'm not going to sit here and just take it. I'm going to just shut down, turn the TV on, and that's basically I get that from my dad, and then sometimes I get that communication thing from my mom. Like I'm not going to talk to you now until you're fine and dandy, but by the time you're fine and dandy, you really don't want to talk about it because you want to just have calm waters.
Right.
So I think having those A and B type personalities from my mom and dad in me kind of let me know that look, I do need work as a man, communicating how I feel to my wife and understanding how she feels as a woman, but also she has to understand how she comes across to me in front of company is not
Right.
good. We got through all of that, and now like I honestly told my dad and my mom, I said the past few years, I think every year Heather and I get better. I said, she's my one because she can calm me down, she can ground me, but yet she can get me so angry at times, but we don't blow up. It's like, you know what? That was pretty messed up. Like, what were you thinking? And we'll have these discussions. Like, if we get mad at each other, we'll get mad, but it's like, all right, what the fuck? Like, why were you mad? Well, I was mad because of this. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Right.
Why did that get you upset? So now it's like, yo, we'll argue, but dude, we argue, it's like turns into like a joke after. And I tell people, I said, communication has what's the biggest thing in a marriage? And everybody's like, oh, it has to be um, friendship or sex or compatibility. I'm like, I get that. I said, but communication, because communication is everything, dude. Like, it don't matter if y'all are perfect. If you don't communicate, you ain't gonna know. what's
Yeah.
bothering her. She ain't gonna know what's bothering you. Like you ain't gonna have the right guidelines in raising your kids because you're not communicating. What works for one may not work for others. So hey, how can we come in a mutual ground? And it's all communication. Ever since then, like I told my mom and dad, like I think I got that on my own, figuring that out, not from y'all because I never seen y'all communicate like that. Every time I seen y'all communicate, it's arguing.
Right.
So I try not to do that in my household unless it's just me and Heather together by ourselves. And if we need to argue, we can argue, but not in front of the kids. No yelling, cursing, this, and that, because that hurts kids. And that's what I was used to seeing. And it kind of like put me in the show for a little bit like, man, I don't want to subject my kids to me verbally spatting off at my wife or my wife verbally spatting off at me because then my son is gonna think that's okay, and then I'll be
Right.
damned if a dude talks to
Ooh,
my daughter like that.
there you
So
go.
I try to keep everything the way I would want my kids to be to their spouses or their girlfriends and boyfriends when treat with respect. It's okay to have a disagreement, but don't go yelling, raising your hands, belittling people. Like, communicate.
Now,
Calm down.
do you feel like the like that's a level of emotional maturity that most people just don't have. Like
Hmm.
the I genuinely I 100% agree with you. I genuinely feel like communication, especially in any type of communication, but especially
Hmm.
it leads to a level of intimacy
Yeah.
that most people can't access,
Hmm.
because that vulnerability that you have to be vulnerable to communicate, to have
Yeah.
conversations like
Hmm.
real ones, not like what
Yeah.
the weather's like and some bullshit, but
Exactly.
like real conversations require you to have an openness to
Yep.
share with that other person. And if they're unwilling, well, then now there's a problem. but
Exactly.
but if they're willing to come to the table, to your point, like you,
Yeah.
there's almost nothing that you can't get through, because you're not waiting for an action to take
Hmm.
place to get to the point where, oh, okay, well, now I'll talk about it because it's gotten so bad, it's over
Yep.
here. You're having conversations before you get to those bridges, so you don't have to worry about
Exactly.
crossing them by
Yep.
yourself.
And if it does come up, you're ready. You're prepared. You're
Yeah.
prepared. Like marriage to me is like almost like it's like almost an unspoken war. Like you're you're prepping that road.
I'm gonna let you cook, because I'm trying to stay married on here, so I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let you, yeah, go ahead.
I feel like it's a
Duane said it was a war, baby.
yeah,
I ain't say none of that. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's preparing, it's trying to prepare you for something that you don't want to happen. Like,
Right.
hey, do not want to knock down this dang reactor right here because you're gonna have an explosion, and you're gonna have a
Yep.
war, and you do not want to clean that mess up. So hey, how can we prevent this? How can we get better? Like, all right, I'm with you, babe. I'm with you. Let's talk about A, B's, and C's. I'll talk about the D, E's, and F's.
Yep.
We can keep this road going, and it's been good, man. And again, it goes back to my dad, and my mom's teachings, especially my dad being independent. Like my wife, like even now working from home, like I don't know if it's like I don't want to put stereotypes on it, but I have to. Like when my dad came down, he goes like, you look at Southern guys, a lot of Southern households, it's like the wife cooks, she cleans, she does this, that, and the guy comes home, works, does nothing, and he
Right.
goes, I don't want you turning into that. And even from working from home, it's like I do laundry, clean, cook, and all my friends is like, they're like, what are you doing? And it's like, dude, I got to. There's like, what does your wife do? I said, my wife goes into the office every day. You know, she she would wish that she was in my shoes. I said, but I can take a burden off her when she gets home. So I'm home all day.
Now that fellas, if you're watching, that's how you win. If you
Yeah,
can move the thing, for those of you that are looking for, how do I spend time with my woman? How do I free her up? And you get that level of intimacy that you're talking about. What I found, the same thing that you're talking about, if I move everything out of the way, so there's
yeah,
no laundry, the kids are taken care of, There's no, you don't have to worry about the dishes. The house is
Yeah.
clean. All you got to do is come to me.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go.
even so, like it's like she gets home, it's dinner's cooked or pretty much done. The kids are crazy. The kids are gonna be crazy. Like
Oh yeah,
so
that's their whole
if
job.
if that pie is already damn done, like, woo, all right, well, I could just come. I tell her, and she knows I train 4 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like, or some Fridays I'm not home because I'm training 2.5 hours at night. At least when she gets home, she has dinner done. The house is pretty much straightened up, and she can either go on the couch, watch TV, play with the kids, and when I get home, we can just chill. So, and even on the weekends, don't save. I never save everything. I used to save everything for Friday, Saturday, and now it's like I'll do the laundry Wednesday, Thursday. It's
Yep.
done. Friday, spot clean. Saturday, we can just chill. If it's yard work, we're in the yard together, or we and the kids playing video games. Everybody is doing what they want to do, and guess what? We're all together. So,
There you go. That's how you win. Shit, I can cut this off now. That's how you win. You welcome. That's how you win.
I'm gonna sign that check, cuz.
You know, you welcome. Shit, turn it off. Shit.
Shit.
I really want to get into. I know you have found a space and a genuine passion for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Kind of tell me what got you into that, and what has it. Just what, like I said, just what I haven't been able to fly across the country and check you out. But I'm interested in how you got how so impassioned about it.
So I've been a big basketball player. Like I love playing basketball. Love playing basketball. And played the Fuquay League back in what, oh no, it wasn't, oh, it was 2016 maybe.
Yeah.
Played in a 30 and up league and crushed it. Like felt good. So I was back in shape. I was doing this uh train with Adrian workout. I was posting on Instagram. I dropped what, 15, 20 pounds. Started back running every day. I was like, I'm gonna play basketball again. Picked up basketball, played in that league, averaged 30 on a shitty team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had dudes playing in college that was like, there's no way you can keep this up. I was laughing at people like, hey, I will press you the whole game and still go run 4 miles after this game. I was like, that's how great a shape I was in. But even though it started getting to me like, dude, I cannot carry. What is wrong with me? And it was always, I was never that main guy on the team. Like I was always second, not second fiddle, but I had my buddy Brandon and Jojo. They were really good basketball players. So when we all played together, those two were the primary scorers. I was just, Duane, go play defense. And I didn't mind it because shit, I don't need to score. I could score. But when
Right.
I started playing by myself and being the focal person, it was hard because if I didn't score 40 or better, we lost.
We don't win. Yeah.
And the same thing, I'll never forget how it resonated with me was when Antonio Brown told, when he was going through that stuff with Pittsburgh, and him and Juju was on the team, and he said, dude, you're great. He goes, but you want to be number one until you're number one. He goes, if you're number one, can you still put up all these numbers that you're putting up as a second player? Because everybody's focused on me. And that kind of hit home. I was like, damn, like I need to find something that I can say, Duane, that's on you. Like me putting up 40 points ain't on me. That's on the people around me. Like you
Right.
need to damn tighten up. So went to Fuqua, went to the OS Institute. I was like, oh, they got jujitsu. I'm gonna try it. So tried that and I loved it. But the guy, for some reason, I got sick. I didn't want to go train with people when I'm sick. So the guy was like, you're not coming back. I'm like, dude, I got the flu. Like, I'm not coming in there. Then I had to go to California for work. We kept talking and I just dropped it. So dropped that for a few months and then went up to the Fuquay Sports Center, taking my son to Open Gym. They had a shell shock Brazilian Jiu Jitsu little piece of paper on some printing paper.
Mhm.
I was like, let me give him a try. So called John. He's our head black belt at a Shell Shock. He's the owner of the gym. He goes, hey man, call me tomorrow. And called him the next day, and he was so. When I say, when you talk to people and they're like, all right, we're just come in, and you can tell they just want you to sign up to do this or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I called him and he goes, hey man, I'm actually eating. Let me call you back. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, he probably ain't gonna call back. Yeah, he called me and we literally spoke for almost an hour on the phone. And he was like, dude, come in, come try out 2 weeks of class. Have you ever trained before? I said, well, I trained at AOS Institute for maybe a few weeks, but that was it. But I really enjoyed it. I was like, I even bought a gi a week in. So that told you I was sticking with it. And he goes, all right. Tried out a few classes. Got subbed out by his girlfriend like 6 times in a matter of like a minute. Little
Oh
purple
yeah.
belt.
Oh yeah. They'll get a hold of an arm, a leg, a
Yeah.
neck. It
I'm like,
don't.
what?
It
I
does
said,
not
what the
matter.
hell this chick is probably 5 foot and maybe 115 pounds. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Hey,
Yep.
so, yeah. I'm like, what in the world? I felt like the cartoon when the tornadoes around them and they getting beat up. That's what I felt like. I said, what in the world is going on? So did the class, loved it. And, I was not consistent from that August till November, but I was dropping every couple of weeks, 2 times a week, skip a week. But I was still reading more, more information about it. And then
Okay.
finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sign up. And it was from then where I started feeling like, man, this is me. Like, it's me against the next person on the mat. It's me against what I know, what I can do against what another female or male can do. So, time on the mat is going to benefit me because I want to get better.
See, and what people really don't know is you hung out, especially when we were out of college and everything else. Like that's how we got to know each other.
Yep.
Like you hung out with wrestlers. So
Yep.
what? I don't,
And you know what the funny thing is? Everybody that I roll with now, even my instructor told we got a new black belt there. He goes, yeah, Duane's a wrestler. He just hides it. I'm like, I'm not a wrestler, dude. I was like, I've never wrestled in my life. I said, I watched my son wrestle. I mimicked his moves because I had to understand what he was doing. I had to
right.
practice shooting a shot. And dude, now like jujitsu has like pretty much engulfed my life. Like it's changed me as a person. Um, I look at things a lot different now. Like I try not to fly off the handle with a lot of things. I try to look at things like kind of like right down the middle, like not
Right.
try like rush to give out an opinion or a judgment. I try to like hey, split it right down the middle, show me facts, and let's go. And now with just training this, like, dude, it humbles you, like because you don't care who you are. It doesn't care who you are. Like you put in the time and work is what you're gonna get out of it. And it's helped me become a better dad, better husband, better friend. Um, it makes you rationalize things when you're out in a public setting. Like everybody thinks I'm paranoid now, like when I go out, but dude, like I have to sit with my back almost not facing a wall, but angled off of a wall to see where an exit is. Like, because I don't trust people that much anymore. Like going out, you don't know who's who. So I need to
Yeah.
find an exit. I don't want you near me. Like, don't come behind me. Like I have a buddy, all he likes coming up and hugging me from behind. So as soon as somebody hugs it, it's like tight elbows, grab a wrist, grab an elbow. And
Yep.
it's like, dude, like I'm always kind of like on the offensive or defensive. And it's not because like I'm paranoid somebody's gonna do something. It's just, dude, just give me my space. Let me be. And dude, jujitsu is awesome. It's I feel better. I'm in better shape. I'm in better shape now than I probably was in almost towards high school.
Damn.
I feel great. Like as a 40-year-old, like feel great. Bishop be laughing at me because he went out to Cornerstone one day and was like, hey man, Duane, damn, like you wear a size 28 in pants? I'm like, first of all, why are you looking at me in my jeans?
Right.
And
Shout out Bishop. What you doing, man? What you doing?
And
You don't eyeball another man's shorts. What you doing?
he goes, man. He goes, man. I'm not. He's like, I'm just saying. He's like, you're looking good. He goes, but you're small like Uncle Noel. And shout out to my Uncle Noel. He is small. Only dude I know. Look, the only dude I know. Damn, a wife beat on him looked like a white T-shirt. That's how it
Oh man.
yeah, like baggy, look like a parachute. I'm like, come on, man. So, but jujitsu has completely, it's humbled me. It's given me a new vision on like just looking at parenting, looking at how I go about things in life. Um, yeah, and I'm in it for the long haul, dude. I'm an avid competitor. When I was a white belt, I competed, I think, 10 times. I placed in all tournaments, like at least never hit the gold medal until this last few months because the dude sat out. He was hurt, his ankle hurt. So I looked at my coach. I was like, man, I don't even want this gold medal. Like I've never gotten a gold medal by beating someone. I was
Right.
like,
I want something real. Yeah.
I've yet to get it. But I don't beat myself up about it because a lot of people don't even win until sometimes they get to like higher levels. Like I'm
Oh, for
talking
sure.
brown and black. And for me competing so many times, like I've competed a lot of times as a white belt, I've competed a good amount of times as a blue belt, and I love it just for the fun. Like I don't get caught up in medals. Um, I just look at it as getting better. You can always get a way for improvement. I don't think I would be in the same mind frame if, as a white belt, I never lost, because the dude that's undefeated, he just goes about his training like the same way. Like, oh, I'm undefeated. I'm gonna keep working on this. As you lose, you have to figure out where is my gaps.
Right. You
What
get forced to change.
Yeah. So, and I'm constantly adapting. I'm not the same grappler as I was last year when I got my blue belt. I got my blue belt in 2019. And I am not the same blue belt today as I was last year. Because the blue belt of today will freaking destroy the blue belt of last year. And that's from growth, time on the mats. Like I train Monday at 11, from 11 to 12, and I train from 6:30 to 9:30 on Monday nights. Tuesday I go back to lunch class. Wednesday I go back to lunch class. I train at night. Thursday I go to lunch class. I go to open mat on Saturdays for 2 hours, and we have a 3 hour competition roll on Sundays from 11 to 1. I said, so I'm in it now to, I want to be a world champ at a blue belt level. My buddy Trevor, shout out to Trevor Burns. He just won blue belt at the age of 50 plus. He's won blue belt at European Worlds last year as a blue belt, American Masters World Champion at blue belt, and Openweight Masters World Champion at blue belt. And he just got his purple belt this year, 2020. Just won a world championship at Orlando as a purple belt. And we trained together. So he's given me that push for 2021 to say, nice. All right, Duane, let's get after it. So I got goals. I want to be a world champ at blue belt, and I'm not stopping this until I'm in the grave. So
I love it, dude. And to speak to that humility, like once you put yourself consistently in uncomfortable situations, you force yourself to grow. Like we stop doing it when we get older. But when you're a kid and you have no choices, right? Like you can't just leave or walk away from things. You have to develop that. It's awesome. And I think it kind of dies in you a little bit if you like every other muscle, right? If you don't use it, you kind of get used to doing things a certain way and just being comfortable.
And that's a great point you just said there, comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's basically what jiu-jitsu is. It's relentless, just having a guy that's almost 100 pounds more than you on top of you, suffocating you, and you're trying to get out without panicking. So that, from my first stages, was something that was like, holy hell, like I'm dying. And then once you start realizing it's like, oh, all right, come. You start, come on, man, come here, come here. You gonna lay on top of me? You gonna try to smash me? Nah, I'm getting out now. Nah, yeah, nah. That ain't gonna work. Like, how are you so comfortable under there, dude? You'll figure it out. You're gonna hit a switch and a point, and it's gonna say, like the whole saying now. But did you die?
But
Yeah,
but did you die? But did you
it feels
die?
like it. It feels like it, but yeah, it's jujitsu is. I think it's really good therapy for a lot of folks. No matter what you're going through, like be perfectly healthy, but it's an outlet. Like as humans, we want to be together. We want to be
Right.
touched, and I think jujitsu in that aspect brings people closer together. No matter what color, creed, race, whatever, you will find you put people in a room that want to do jujitsu, all that shit goes out the window. Like they don't care what color you are, what hair color, what's your hair color? Does he have one eye? Does he have? We have a guy that, props to my buddy Michael. He was in. He served and he lost both of his legs. He still trains and he is tough. Like we don't care about stuff like that. Like one's man ailments on the street, people frown up and look at him. When you come on the mats, like we're all brothers and sisters. We're all a family. We have a motto saying, not all family is blood. And it's true. It's true. When we get on the mats, like we're just a big glorified family in some pajamas. So,
having a long ass pajama party.
yep, that's it. But it's humbling. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's very, very humbling. Tell Bishop and Randy, trying to get Randy to come and check it out, but he's like, yo, nah. Bishop. I told Bishop, we were joking around one day with my buddy. I don't know if you met Kyle Mistretta. He used to go to Cary with us, but he's a cop with Marcus. When I left, they were like, man, we can grapple you guys. We should be able to take you guys down for about 18 minutes. And Marcus looked at him. He was like, you really think you could survive 18 minutes with Duane or me on the mat? And they was like, yeah. There goes, but we'll have to take you down. He goes, no, anybody can take anybody down. He goes, would you be able to submit? And they're like, yeah, oh no. So asked Bishop. Bishop was like, I ain't messing with y'all with that. He goes, even though I wrestled, I said, nah, Bishop, you'll be a handful, man.
Yeah, well, I was about to say because even and rest his soul, Dunbar, we lost him last year.
Mm-hmm.
The like we used to go to duels with those dudes. Like we're for real gorillas. But and I know Bishop. I'm gonna have him on here too. But I know he with the gym and everything like that. Like
Yeah,
them dudes was gorillas back in the day.
yeah,
For
man.
real.
They did not. When I watched them in high school, man, I was in awe. I'm like, damn, like these dudes they ain't playing, and everybody wants to give like hell to Bishop because he never won a state title, but it takes a lot of guts and a lot of determination to do what he did, especially what he did on the mats. He was going up against guys bigger than him. This
Yes.
thing won't, he was basically like the utility dude. Like, all right, we need you to wrestle this guy at this weight. And he never said no. And even though he never like has a ring or whatnot, that dude's a fucking champion. Like,
Agree.
he's the epitome of what like a heart of a lion is, dude. Like, and you look at him today, man, Bishop set goals and he's there. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of all of those guys, all of them. So I see you, and you got the family. Hey, man, hey, look at that, man. What was it, a few years ago in Seattle, you was just the old FFB.
yes, for sure. I had to get off that freshman 40.
I'll have to send you down a 4XL Green Bay coat.
Yes, sir. Now I got the. This is my old XL, and now we're getting the sensitive smalls. So.
Oh man, I'm gonna need a custom fit for mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna need just take a little bit off the top. Take a little bit off the top. We good.
I won a contest the other day. Not to get off topic, but my buddy Ryan, builds cars for like that's his hobby. When him and his dad was building cars, and
Right.
found I guess the number of how much power his cars put down. So he said, "Hey man, I owe you a shirt." So he called me. I was like, "Yeah man, what size shirt you need?" I was like, "A medium." He goes, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah man." He goes, "No guy's ever asked for a medium." I said, "Dude, trust me." I said, "I work out so much, like a large would probably swallow me." He goes, "Man, all I got left is a small." I said, "I can't do a small." He's like, "I'm just gonna give you a large." He goes, "Because I don't feel right giving no dude a medium shirt."
I feel some kind of way about giving you this medium shirt, and that brings me. That was a perfect segue. I want to hear. Like, I know you're a Mustang guy. Is it strictly Mustangs, or is it like muscle cars?
Muscle
And
car,
how did you get into that?
man. Ever since I was a kid, like, I love. They say you ever see the meme going on? The boys, what the biggest hobby starts with a 99-cent car.
Oh,
That's
the Matchbox
Yeah.
cars.
So I was a big advocate of Matchbox. I always loved fast cars growing up. And high school is basically coming down south because in New York, you had the city bus. Really wasn't talking about cars.
Yeah, no car. Yeah,
So when I got down here, like everybody had Mustangs, Camaros, going to the drag strip. Like that was new for me. And I know in New York, they used to just race like on Queens Boulevard and whatnot. But I just love the sound of muscle cars, V8s. My dad had muscle cars, and my godfather had a big block Chevelle right there on Carroll Street. So I wasn't a stranger to it, but when I moved to the South, it was like readily available. Fell in love with the Mustangs from all my buddies. Everyone had one. Built a couple, sold a bunch, and I just got rid of my Cobra a few last year, and I bought a Chevy SS.
okay.
And I love it. It's 4 door. It's probably faster. It is faster than probably my old red Cobra. It's an automatic car. Um, it's just something about big V8s, fast cars, and smelling like gas. Like it's just a yeah. It's like a drug, man. It's everybody, and my wife says it. She goes, "Man, you could be into anything, but you choose cars." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's an addiction, though." I said, "But I would rather have that addiction than anything else because
Oh,
at
right,
least
for sure.
I
Yeah,
know I'm pouring out money into a car. I'm not pouring out money hoping to, oh shit, let me just keep playing poker and hopefully one day I will be able to be a millionaire off poker. I'll just like it's there. Like my money is going into something that I can see is it's making power, it's getting faster. Um, it's a money pit, but it keeps me level. That in jujitsu, because now I got a closet full of geese. So,
good God Almighty, this
but I love
dude.
cars, man. Cars is it's always been like I want to say like a comfort thing. Like if I got upset as a kid, I'd go and play matchboxes, make car noises, drive around the apartment, and had a go-kart when I was little in Trinidad. So everything with the car was a release. Because when I got in a car, it was like, all right, just me in the car. I could just listen to the engine.
Yeah,
All the worries are gone. That's the same thing I do if I had a Mustang, even when I have this black car, like I would literally sometimes just take off the music and just get on it and just listen, or just like keep it in a high gear just so I can hear the exhaust note and just drift. But it's something calming about muscle cars and cars in general. So my son loves them. He's Dad, you know what this Ferrari is? You know what this Lamborghini is? I don't want this Bentley. I want a P1 McLaren. I was like, you ain't getting. I ain't your daddy if you want one of them. You better get your V-Bucks up for a Need for Speed and keep buying them. He goes, man, but we can buy one in real life. I said, no. Maybe if you go and be honest, you probably will never own one unless you go to the NFL or something, or if we hit a lotto. I'm gonna be honest with you, chances are very slim.
yes,
Chances are very
yes.
slim. But he loves cars. I actually have a plan to maybe one day. My wife was like, we can give him the Accord. And honestly, I'm gonna build my SS, but I'm thinking down the road, I want to build like a old pickup truck, like a C10 or like a box Chevy and put it on the ground, nice interior, or patina it, and I want to pass it down to my son and my daughter. So
Nice.
I want to do something like that, something that they can say, "Hey, look what Dad built us." Probably won't ever drive it, but my daughter actually mentioned it to me. She was like, "I'd like an old truck." I'm like, "Hey, there you go." So she's slowly catching on to the car thing. She loves loud cars. She loves fast cars. She's like, "Dad, make the back end start shaking." I'm like, "Babe, we can't. It's traffic. I'm gonna get a ticket. Like, just take it easy." She goes, "Come on, do a burnout. Do this." I'm like, "Baby, no, baby, no." So the kids love it, man. The kids love it. Whatever I like, they try to get into liking. And the car thing is just, to me, it's like another comfort thing
Right.
from my childhood that's just kept on till now. So hmm?
Well, that's dope, dude. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up. I
All right,
let you get
brother.
back to football. I'll grab some breakfast and all that
I ain't
stuff.
doing that. I'm about to go get me some candy or something. Yeah. Yeah, I still eat all the junk food. See that? You got a nice selection back there. Dang.
Well,
I've
we
been,
don't try to try. I got 3 kids, so I try to make sure the my
I've been
medicine
trying to
is
damn pick,
situated.
open, see if you'll see me. See if I can open that knob right there. See that knob's creak. Go ahead and just, let me just.
I'll worry about you. Well, thanks again, guys. This has been another edition from the root to the fruit. I've been
Yeah.
Jay Smith. This is Duane Rudder. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. And we'll see you next time. Take
All
care
right.
of each other. Peace.